Alright, so I literally have probably been in 3 different locations, but I really feel comfortable being out here, recording out here, and hopefully you guys can hear me over these freaking generators that I'm sitting by, but yeah, I don't know. I just felt comfortable being out here by my yoga mat, and yeah, I'm gonna do the video out here today. So, hey guys, our next selfie that we're gonna talk about today is gonna be on self-confidence, and this is, I want to say all of them are my favorite, but I can't say they're all my favorite, but this is probably my favorite one. No, I can't say that. I was going to say my favorite one to talk about, but I just like all of them. But I love this one. It is something that I really like to talk about because I get to clarify the difference. And what I mean by difference, I mean, my whole life I've always heard, oh, Courtney, you're so confident, and like you're not scared, so whatever, like you'll just take the lead, you're such a leader, etc., etc., which is cool. And I take it, and I've always been that way, but it was a different, I really thought the spider was just floating by me. It was a different kind of self-confidence. I was more confident in the ego mindset. I was confident in the sense of I didn't really trust what I was doing or trust myself with anything that I did. It was more so like, you got me messed up, I'm not about to look bad, so I'm going to do it, That's where my confidence thrived off of, and that's why I was a confident person in the eyes of others. It was all ego. It wasn't the other type of confidence, the self-confidence that I'm going to talk to you guys and teach you guys about today, which is of the conscious mind. And that consciousness is just, I really feel like I can talk more when I'm here. That consciousness is when you know yourself so well, you don't label yourself by anything, you don't confine yourself in a box, and like I said, label yourself, I guess, in a sense. You are open to the idea of you are who you are, and that's that. You trust it, you love it, and you go off of that, and that it shines through you, So that's where I'm at now with my self-confidence. I know who I am. And again, this is all going into authentic self-power, and I told you guys that this is one of the biggest things that goes into your self-power is knowing yourself and just being secure with yourself and not allowing anybody else to get in the middle. A feeling of trust in one's abilities, qualities, and judgment. Self-confidence is the feeling of or belief that one can rely on someone or something, or firm trust. So the key word in both of those definitions that we're going to be looking at and talking about is trust. And my question for you is, do you trust yourself? So what I want to talk to you guys about is losing yourself to find yourself. And this is one of the, I can't even say easiest, but this is the surefire way of leading you to self-confidence and self-knowledge and self-realization, which are the other selfies we're going to talk about. But for self-confidence, you have to lose yourself to find yourself. And what I mean by that is you have to strip yourself of everything that is not real about you, so only the real remains. So what that can include is stripping yourself of labels, stripping yourself of this idea of who you're supposed to be, who you thought you were supposed to be your whole life, etc. It all goes down to that. For example, like I said earlier, I was more ego-driven. I was more confident because I'm pretty and I'm smart and I'm, the things people fed to me about myself. I relied on the compliments of others, you guys, not even you guys, we all still do it to this day, the likes of others. We reach for this exception from other people for validation about who we are as people. But I was fed it so much that for me, that built my confidence up. I got told, oh, you're so pretty. Oh, you're so smart. Oh, you're so blah, 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 blah. All of that stuff that really doesn't matter. It's about knowing who you are, being a good person, and spreading your gift to the world. And that's where I'm at now with my confidence. Like I talked about in my last video, I went through a little depression, and during that time, I lost myself. And when I say I lost myself, I mean literally lost material things that meant a lot to me. I lost the personality I've always had. I lost the mindset I've always had. I lost the labels that I thought were put on me by myself and from others who I thought I was. I thought I was, I don't know, this psychologist or just this educator or just this black girl or just this smart girl or the pretty girl or the whatever girl. Whatever I thought of myself as, I had to lose all of that because it just was not me. The spirit, the real me that's inside of this being, it wasn't that. It was not me. So I had to come to terms with who I was at that point because once you're stripped of those labels and the collective consciousness that you've been fed your whole life, you know, about who you are and who you're supposed to be, once that leaves you, you're only stuck with you. And that's what I got. And when I started to learn the real me, I saw a lot of flaws in myself I didn't like. I saw a lot of great things in myself. And it goes back to what I was saying about self-love, and just learning who you really are, what you really like, and then taking care of yourself from that. So if I know, like I said, I lost myself, and I didn't have a lot of material things anymore. I had lost a lot of money. I had lost, I don't know, friends, environments that I used to go to. I just wasn't living that life anymore. So when it got to the point where I had to learn myself, like I said in the first video, I started learning things like, oh, I like to meditate outside, and you know, before I would honestly say I probably was not a nature person ever. So I think the fact that I would rather be outside and I would rather, you know, just be in nature all the time now, it really shocked me because I didn't think that's who I was because I was preppy or I was never really girly, but I just didn't have the mindset of being in nature and being one with nature, and I never really cared to be one with nature. Whereas now I feel disconnected if I'm inside too long, and if I'm not outside in nature, I feel like, what am I doing? You know, like, but once I get out here, even sitting here on my patio, it's so much more natural, and I naturally come alive when I get into this environment. So I learned things like that about myself that I never would have known if I would have kept myself confined to the labels that I gave myself. Oh no, you're just a smart girl, you're a pretty girl, you're social, and you know how to talk to people, and blah 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 blah. Things that really don't matter. But once you find out who you are and what you can really do, that's when things start turning around in life. That's where you're really going to learn how to trust yourself because you know you're not depending on any of the material things that you've been depending on your whole life. You are now solely depending on yourself, which is the God in you. So once you learn how to depend on the God in you, you realize none of the other things even matter. So that's my take on self-confidence. I really didn't want to go too long into this video. I want you guys to really understand that trusting yourself comes from knowing yourself. So you have to be honest with yourself about who you are. Lose yourself to find yourself. It is the most surefire way to build your self-confidence. And it's it, guys. It's a quick little video for the next selfie that we're doing. And then the next video is going to be on self-knowledge. So I think it is very important that you know yourself. And we are going to go fully in depth in that on the next video. So thank you guys for watching.